100.7 is the Lunchtime Theme Park, and I'm Jim Owen with a special guest. I have Mark Mayfield with me. He's our special guest, and this other guy in the green pants. No, we have Alice Cooper with us today.
You're a night guy. I'm your night guy.
He is. You can hear him here every night. And this is a busy week for you.
The pudding is always the most difficult. You know, I mean, for us, we just finished the tour on Saturday in Indio, 100 city tour, finished up in Indio, and you'd think that would be, well, boy, now we can relax.
No way.
The very next week is the pudding, which is more difficult than the show, you know, because now you've got all these people coming in. We have to we try to keep it loose. You know, the show is supposed to be a party where everybody gets up and does a couple things. That's what a Christmas party would be.
I read that in one other interview you did. You said the whole idea in the beginning was this is just a Christmas party, like at your house, where everybody has to get up and do something.
Right, except that the people getting up and do something are all headliners.
Yeah, they're all big stars, much better than my brother and sister. But
and Solid Rock is now open, and I mean, it's like we get 100 kids in there a day.
Okay, take me back now. How did we? A lot of people know, some don't. How did we get to Solid Rock and the facility down there?
14 years ago, we started with the idea of what could we do to help kids, teenagers especially. And we didn't have nearly the problem 14 years ago that we do now, as far as gangs, guns, and drugs,
crack, and
everything. And it just took that long to finally get a place where we could go into. And Genesis Church bought an entire strip mall thing, and they said, why don't you partner with us in here and bring Solid Rock into here? And we have like 30,000 square feet open there now, and another 30,000 that we're going to open up.
But the idea is to
get kids in there that would normally be in gangs. Now they're in bands.
Yeah, let them,
dance, any kind of artistic endeavor.
But it's not just the instruments, though. I mean, you're teaching them other stuff.
Oh, I said that why not teach them lighting, sound. If they're not musically inclined, teach them everything else. Yeah. We have 6 guys on stage. We have 25 guys backstage.
Somebody's got to put it on.
That's right. That's the hard part, is getting the lighting right, getting the sound right, getting the amps on, getting them working. So we'll even teach that.
Plus, music's pretty universal. I mean,
what's the one thing you can take a kid from the best house in Paradise Valley and then take a kid from the worst trailer park in the West Side, put them in a room together, and what are they going to talk about? Music. That's going to be their common denominator. Yep. So let's make this about music.
Yeah, the one thing we've discovered in our radio careers, I know Mark's run into this, everybody has an opinion about music, too, and they're very passionate and opinionated about it. You're
right. It's like picking your football team or your baseball team.
Right.
When you support a band, at least in our era, you were either Jimi Hendrix or Cream.
Or Beatles and Rolling Stones.
Beatles or Rolling Stones. It wasn't until later that you could have both.
I love the Beatles, but then I love the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, so I mean, you had to pick one.
Very conflicted.
And kind of be on that team.
Right.
I guess it would be like that now with either you're a vampire fan or a werewolf fan.
Or zombies.
Yeah, zombies. I like zombies. I don't know about. I like
zombies. Are great because they're not hard to deal with. You just shoot them in the head.
Shoot them in the head. Yeah. But they're relentless too.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on zombies. Okay. So the foundation, it just opened. The facility.
It just opened this summer, actually, last summer, and I mean it's wide open. We got kids in there playing drums and guitars and bass, and Cheryl's teaching dance, and my daughter Sonora was teaching dance. She's in LA now doing makeup, but we're going to be we're after school. We're open every night, and these kids are there every single night.
Well,
they're loyal now. It's their place.
Well, what was really impressive was going down there for the grand opening and seeing how much stuff there was for these kids to do, and how people like Fender came through, to give you guitars and the instruments and stuff.
They said if you've got 25 guitar players, we'll have 25 guitars for you.
Yeah, I think you just put people in front of it.
That's it.
You put them in front of an instrument they may have never seen.
And well, that's what I'm saying. I drive by and and I can see kids on the corner, and I know I'm not I'm from Detroit. I know what's going on, and I figure how does that kid right there that's selling crack not know that he's the best guitar player in Arizona?
Yeah.
He's never had a guitar in his hand. So here's an opportunity. Come on in. We'll teach you for free. There's there's no strings. You don't have to know Bible verses. You don't have to do anything. You just have to show up and learn how to play.
So some of the funding at least comes from the Christmas pudding shows.
Christmas pudding show, and then of course we have a golf tournament, and now we're in a position where we can apply for grants.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of grants will not. They don't want to build a building for you.
You got to be there first.
Yeah, they don't want mortar and bricks. What they want to do is say, what are your programs? Okay, these programs are for this, and we can support that.
So you got to take the leap first, really.
Yeah, you have to actually show them you're for real.
Yeah. So and where else is your funding coming from? The grants?
Well, you know, I mean, like anything else, we're wide open for, you know, we're a charity. So, I mean, we're wide open for contributions at any time. But, you know, we have certain people that every year will send us a check for $25,000, you know, just out of nowhere, just because.
But tickets for the show, that money's going to go.
That goes all towards right back into solid
And that's
rock.
Saturday, Comerica Theater.
Yep.
And one person you have on the show is somebody who was in the studio with us a couple of weeks ago, and what a terrific guy he was, Don Felder.
Don Felder has been at our show maybe 7 or 8 times now, and he always says yes. He says, I'll be in, you know, Hotel California, Take It Easy. You know, he wrote some pretty good songs for the Eagles. And he gets up and he does some Stevie Ray Vaughan, which he's a great guitar player.
Yeah.
Very good guitar player.
He's got lessons on the internet, which are blowing me away.
Yeah, he's really good and a good guy all the way around. He's going to be playing with, Orianti's going to be playing some stuff with him, our guitar player.
Very cool.
Who's a great blues player.
Well, and Felder, of course, I love one of the stories we talked about with him, which is how'd you get in the band?
Yeah.
You know, they brought him in to play slide guitar in a song.
Yeah.
And the next day said, you got it. Hey, you know what? Would you like to join us? And I said, that's a hell of a job interview, man.
That's not a bad band to get into. I mean, you know, you get in our band, you get in. I promise you 3 things. I said, you're going to see the world. You're going to get paid. You're going to get stitches. That's just part of it.
I don't think Felder ever got stitches.
No, with the
Eagles,
they go, well, you know, you're going to make a fortune. Here's your jet.
Yeah, and you're going to need a lawyer.
Yeah, and you're going to need a lawyer.
Yeah, and this is the song that did it. Good Day in Hell. It's like I got Don Felder in the band with the Eagles on the Lunchtime Theme Park from KSLX.